Gina had lived in the apartment building for nearly 3 months before she noticed the door. It was not there during the day. It was not there in the evening. But at exactly midnight, when the hallway lights dimmed and the building fell silent, a narrow wooden door appeared between her neighbor's unit and the emergency stairwell. The first night she saw it, she assumed she was tired. The second night, she waited. At 11:59, the hallway looked normal. At midnight, the lights flickered, and the door was there. Old wood, no number, no handle, just a thin vertical line in the wall. Gina stepped closer. She touched it. The wood felt cold, like it had never seen sunlight. She pressed her ear against it. From the other side, she heard breathing. Slow, measured. She stepped back immediately. The next night, she brought her phone to record it. At 11:59, she filmed the empty hallway. At midnight, the lights flickered again, but on her phone screen, there was no door, only the blank wall. She lowered the phone. The door stood directly in front of her. The camera could not see it, but she could. That was when she realized something worse. The breathing had stopped. Something was now listening instead. She whispered, "Who's there?" Silence. Then 3 slow knocks echoed from the other side. Not loud, not aggressive, just patient. The door creaked slightly open. Darkness filled the crack. Gina told herself not to step closer. But she did. Inside was a room, small, bare, dimly lit by a single hanging bulb, and in the center stood a chair. Facing the door, on the chair sat someone, their back turned, long dark hair falling over their shoulders. Gina's stomach twisted. The figure slowly raised its head. Without turning around, it spoke. "You finally found it." The voice was hers. She stumbled backward. The door began to close. Before it shut completely, the figure added softly, "You shouldn't stay after midnight." The hallway lights returned to normal. The door was gone. For the next week, Gina avoided the hallway at midnight. She locked her apartment door. She wore headphones. She pretended it wasn't real. But every night at exactly midnight, she heard it. 3 slow knocks on her own front door. She never opened it. Until the 10th night. At 11:59, she stood in her apartment staring at the door. At midnight, the knocking came again. 3 times. She hesitated. Then she opened it. The hallway was empty, but the wooden door had appeared again. Closer this time, almost touching her own doorway. It slowly creaked open on its own. Inside, the same room waited. The same chair, the same figure. This time it turned around. It was Gina, but older. Eyes hollow, skin pale. Her older self smiled faintly. "You keep leaving," the older Gina said. "But this is where you belong." "Belong where?" Gina whispered. The older version gestured to the room. "You moved in 3 months ago. You never moved out." Memories struck her mind like lightning. A late night, a hallway, a power outage, a fall down the stairwell, darkness. She had died in this building. The room was not appearing in the hallway. It had always been there. It existed in the space between life and something else. The midnight door was not an entrance. It was an invitation. "You can stay," the older Gina said gently, "or you can disappear." The light bulb above flickered violently. The hallway behind her began to fade. The apartment door dissolved into shadow. There was no building, no neighbors, no world, only the room, only midnight. The older Gina stood from the chair. "You open the door every night," she said. because part of you remembers. The final memory returned. She had been the one knocking, trying to warn herself, trying to stop the next version from stepping through. Every midnight, a new Gina moved in. Every midnight, one stayed. The older Gina stepped closer. Now it's your turn to sit. The chair felt warm when she touched it, as if someone had just left. The bulb steadied. The door closed behind her. And somewhere in a quiet apartment building, a new tenant glanced down the hallway at exactly midnight. A narrow wooden door appeared.